Hi, my boys have been after me to shoot a video for YouTube. I have no idea why. I told them I don't think I really am going to be very photogenic or have a lot to offer. But I thought, what the heck, I'll do it. So they were wondering about credit cards. They're getting to that age. And so I did a little research, and based on my past experience, I made a few notes. Here's my notes. So I remember what to tell you about why I think everybody should have a credit card. But first, let me say one thing. I do not work for any credit card company or any bank, and I'm not associated or paid to promote any credit cards or any banks. So just let you know that up front. I'm not working for anybody. I just wanted to tell you why I have several credit cards and have had credit cards for many years. And so I just thought I'd share with you what I think is a good reason to, are some good reasons to get at least one credit card. But let me tell you one thing up front, and this is super important, because if you don't adhere to these two rules, then all bets are off. Don't bother getting a credit card. Number one, when you have a credit card, you should still only buy what you can afford. Don't be like my brother. Many years ago, he got a credit card, and he thought, hey, I got a credit card. They sent me this in the mail. I can spend. And that's exactly what he did. And then he found out, oh, I have to pay these things off. So you don't want to be caught in that position. You still only spend what you can afford. So you have to treat it just like cash, but it's so much better than cash. And number two, only buy, because you get your statement every month, so only buy within that time period from when your statement is going to come, or basically when your statement's going to be due, what you can afford to pay off. You absolutely do not want to have a balance on your credit card. Now, there's a lot of occasions when that may be a useful thing, to carry a balance on your credit card, and some people need to and have to, and they get in that situation. But today I'm advocating for not having a balance. And again, I think a credit card is something you absolutely should have if you, A, don't carry any kind of balance and pay it off every month, and B, you only spend what you can afford to spend. Okay, so I got my first credit card when I was 26. I think you can get a credit card as early as 18, I believe. So you may want to consider that. You may not want to wait till you're 26 to get your credit card. So I've had that credit card I still have, and I've had various credit cards throughout the years. And again, if you follow those two simple rules, let me tell you why I think having at least one credit card is a good thing. Number one, for convenience. You don't have to go to the bank to get cash to carry with you to go to the grocery store or wherever you're going and you might need cash. Almost every place these days accepts credit cards, and so if you get some of the major credit cards, usually a MasterCard, a Visa card, Discover, those are really popular. American Express also, but those three are very popular. And then if you go out of the country, usually a Visa is one of the best credit cards to have. But they're very convenient. You're always going to have money with you. You don't have to run to the bank and get money before you rush off to the store. It's easy to buy online with a credit card. I know some people saying, hey, I got PayPal. I can use PayPal. Well, when I finish talking to you, you're going to know why it's better to use a credit card than to use PayPal. Yes, you can use PayPal, and that's a good way. And there's a lot of online vendors accept PayPal as a way to make payment. Another good thing about having it in terms of convenience is you don't have to carry cash around. Some people get a little bit nervous about having a lot of cash in their pocket. And so you don't have to worry about that, and you just carry one little card with you. They have protection from theft. You know, going back to this idea of carrying cash, if you have cash on you and you know, you were to get robbed or you were to lose your wallet or however you carry your cash, it's gone. You know, nobody's going to return it to you, because even if they wanted to return it to you, they don't know who it belongs to. If you have a credit card, you might say, well, they're going to take my credit card and they're going to start charging things. Well, yes, that could happen. And so you do have to treat your credit card like it is cash. But if that does happen, you do lose your credit card, what you have to do is immediately notify your credit card company that your card was lost, or if it was stolen, it was stolen, and you will not be then held liable for the purchases that are made on your credit card. I haven't lost my credit card, and you might say, well, someone could, steal your number. I don't know how someone got my credit card number, but it happened in the past. And so I had charges that weren't mine, and I called the credit company, and I was not held responsible for those charges. One time, as a matter of fact, went out to eat, and I came home, and there was a call from the credit card company that said someone, that there were these charges on my credit card. So I called them. I said, no, I didn't make those charges. And then they did some investigation, and they took those charges off. So I've never had to pay, even when someone somehow got a hold of my credit card number, which again, I'm still not really sure how they ever got a hold of it, because I do treat my credit card like it is cash, and I protect it. So you don't want to be leaving it laying around, and you don't want to be showing the number and to everybody in your credit card, handing out that information, because again, someone could take that and then they could use that information and use your credit card. So it does help with theft protection. Credit cards allow you to save a lot of money, and here's how. So if you're going to pay cash, you go to the store and you hand them cash, and your cash is gone, okay? And some of you may be familiar with the concept called the time value of money. And with that concept, just to kind of make it real simple, is what you want to do is keep your cash, because that money can work for you. If it's just if you have it in the bank. I know savings rates aren't that great today, but at one point, and they have gotten a little bit better, and at some point they probably will get better. And so you want to make sure that you have that cash so that you can either have it in the bank, you can do something else with it, you could invest it in the stock market if you wanted to. And with a credit card, you're going to make your purchase, and basically it's going to be at least a month before you ever have to make that payment on that. So because of the time value of money, you want to keep your money in your hands as long as you can. Most credit cards offer you some type of, a lot of them offer you cash back or other types of rewards. I have a credit card right now that offers 4% back on entertainment and dining. So every time I go out to eat, use that credit card, I'm automatically saving 4%. And you might say, well, that's not a lot of money. Well, that pays part of your tax for your meal, and that adds up over time. So you get that cash back. There's other credit cards that offer you, for instance, I have a Target credit card. And whenever we make a payment with that credit card, we get 5% off right away. So that's a 5% savings. I said, well, that's not a lot of money. Well, over time, that adds up. And that 5%, again, almost pays for your tax that you're going to have on the item. So that's pretty good. I have a Lowe's. It's the same way. You save 5% off a purchase. If you use your credit card internationally, if you travel internationally, then you get oftentimes, you'll get a better rate than going there and then exchanging for the local currency. And so it saves you money in that way. There's also, and this kind of relates to that, a lot of these cards offer rewards and bonuses. So when you sign up, sometimes you may get, I signed up for one credit card recently, last October, and I had to spend, I don't remember how many it was several, I think it was a couple thousand in over 3 months time period in purchases, but I signed up right before Christmas, and I knew I was going to be spending a lot over, as Christmas approached, and I was able to get $500 as a result of spending that money within the 3-month time period. And so just the other day, I got a check back for that. I was able to cash that in, plus the additional money that I had made off of the cash back that the card offered. So sometimes you get bonuses for signing up for the credit card. A lot of cards are free. There's no annual charge. This particular card has I believe, $95 annual fee. It's waived for the first year. I still have the card. You don't have to keep it. I haven't determined whether it's going to pay for itself yearly to whether it's worth keeping, so I may end up getting rid of that card. But if it pays more than it's going to cost me, it's worth keeping. But again, there's a lot of credit cards out there you can get for free, and it doesn't cost you anything. Now, I will say the one thing about some of these where you get a larger amount back, they do oftentimes require a higher credit score. So you have to have a better credit rating. So it kind of depends upon where you are in terms of going and trying to, get a credit card. If you're just starting out, you may not be able to get that kind of offer. But over time, as you build up your credit score, then you'll be eligible for those. A lot of these credit cards also give you air miles. That's another, if you like to travel. And so those, again, you can keep those and they build up over time. And so, yeah, you might not be able to go on any trip right away, but over time you'll have a free trip, and it's pretty cool. Some of them offer you can take some of that cash back that you get and you can give it to charity. Or you can take it and you can use it on gift cards. So they'll Discover, for instance, offers you a lot of choices of gift cards that you can get with that cash back. And sometimes they're a little bit better deals too. So where you might get a $50 gift card and you spend $45 for that card. A lot of them now, and I know one of the credit cards that I have through Discover, which is another great advantage of these cards, is that they can actually help you control your spending. Because through my Discover card, they break down all of my purchases, they put it in a pie chart, they show me how much money I'm spending on gas for the month, how much money I'm spending on food and groceries for the month, how much money I'm spending on health for the month. So you can track that and see how much money and where your money is going. And you might find that, gosh, I didn't realize I spent that much on food or eating out or that much on entertainment. And it'll help you budget better and even control your expenditures better. And again, like I said, you need to make sure you're not spending more, but you may find that even though you're doing that you didn't realize that in some categories you were spending more than you thought you were. And you may want to reallocate some of those or take some of that money and put it into savings. And it's really cool because it'll show you by the month, it'll show you by over the whole year what you spent in the different categories. And it's a really cool way to track your expenditures and do a better job of budgeting. Again, it'll help you save money. Build your credit score. So again, you get one credit card, you use it, you pay it off, you show that you can make those payments, and that will help increase your credit score. And you might say, well, why is that a good thing? Well, because having a good credit score is important for getting other lines of credit, say through the bank, or maybe you want a home equity loan, or maybe you want to get a mortgage and purchase a home. And so having and using credit cards over time will allow you to build up your credit score and allow you to be able to borrow more money. So again, the earlier you get started with a credit card and do it responsibly, as I advocated from the beginning, then the better off you're going to be in the long run. I mentioned PayPal. Some of you like PayPal. There's nothing wrong with PayPal. PayPal is great, but again, you can't use it everywhere and you don't earn with it. Again, the credit card is less risky than carrying cash. I touched on that a little bit earlier. And if you decide, hey, I don't want to use a credit card anymore, then you can stop the credit card, call the company, say, I don't want it anymore, and then they'll say destroy it. And I just take a scissors and I cut it into several little itty-bitty pieces and toss it in the trash. So I think, again, that you should, and everybody should have at least one credit card, with the caveat that A, you still only buy what you can afford, and B, you do not carry a balance on that credit card and you pay it off every month. And if you do those things, you'll find that owning at least one credit card is a real plus for you. Well, that's all for my first video. I hope I've given you some useful information and that you'll go out and find yourself a credit card.